Chairman sir, respected Chairman sir, respected members of the committee, and thank you very much for giving us the time to present our products as well as what we do as an organization for inclusion, with the purpose of inclusion in your schedule. So for product approval and schedule and the projects, we were really looking forward for GSIDC for a very long time, but could not come to this point till yet. So I was just wondering, should we hold this whole presentation in English totally or English Hindi? Are you comfortable with Hindi?
English is better.
Okay. So the topic of the presentation was to give you an overview of the state of the art of passive fire safety. So first we'll take a 1 inch wide, 1 mile deep of what is passive safety altogether, which is as per National Building Code. And then we'll take a deep dive into passive fire safety. And as we cover passive fire safety, our products will be introduced, because we have a primary focus on passive fire safety, then acoustic sound safety, and then radiation. But as GSIDC is not so much into hospital building or this, so we'll keep very low on radiation. Sir, how much auditorium work or this kind of work you have?
Right now there are around 2 auditoriums,
okay.
2-3 auditoriums
okay.
we are doing at the moment.
Okay, so we'll also give a little bit overview of the acoustics, soundproofing and sound safety. Okay, so briefly taking you, I'll try to keep this. We have of course a presentation of around an hour, and then we had a question answer session. But as we've been told repeatedly to keep it between 30 minutes to 40 minutes. Sunny साहब ने 2-3 बार बोला. So we'll try to keep it within 40 minutes. We have first we'll introduce our products and our company. Then what is passive protection with a 1.5 minute video. Then which government organizations already use our products, and that's a list. Then we'll take a deep dive into fire rated doors, acoustic fire rated doors, and panels, acoustic panels, but of course we could not bring acoustic panels and fire rated panels, so we are carrying fire doors and acoustic doors with us. Then if you are interested in the actual testing video of these products in CBRI Roorkee, and then the awards and the places that we've been to, and any other questions, then we'll take up the questions. Is that fine, sir? Shall we go? So my team, I'll just introduce myself quickly, because it requires, sometimes you should also know who you're talking to. So I am one of the leaders in the organization. We are 3 directors in the organization. I joined this organization in 2012. I am an engineer, also a civil engineer, like many of you here, most of you I think. And then I joined Indian Oil Corporation first, and then I was working in Germany with Siemens, and then with Altira Group, 7 years. And in 2012 I joined the organization. Dufwood is a 64-year-old organization. It was incorporated in 1988, but it started in 1954. First, our history is from the timber treatment and seasoning industry. So timber timber has always been a very versatile construction raw material. Unlike what is being preached, that there is a deforestation issue with timber usage. Timber usage is actually harvesting. It's a harvested product. It's a replenishable crop. It's just that the gestation period, the harvesting period is 30 years. So after around 40 years, wood, most of the trees, except for some exception like people and all those, it becomes carbon negative. Okay. So we were always into timber treatment and seasoning. IS 401, IS 1141, we have contributed to the codes. Then in 2005, we introduced, first time we went into fire check doors. and we got our certifications done from CBRI and National Test House, Spectro, many labs. And after that, since then, we have been developing new products. I'll take you through a 2.5 minute video of what the company is about and our infrastructure.
Das jetzt.
Food doors and accessories.
Unfortunately, I am the face of the organization, so very hard video.
Is a 60-year-old third generation organization headquartered out of Kolkata, West Bengal. We have facilities in Kolkata and in Rajasthan, and offices in Kolkata, New Delhi.
So the New Delhi operations have been wound up in Corona, and we've taken up an office in Bombay.
Historically, from the timber treatment and seasoning industry, Food has now evolved into a design and manufacturing of specialty engineered doors, like radiation-proof lead-lined doors for CT scan, MRI rooms.
We are the only organization which has an AERB tested door, radiation. So it's not relevant very much, but
cinema halls, sound studios.
Or radiometry uses our doors. Huh, sir?
We do hospitals also.
Acha, I don't know.
30 minutes to 120 minutes.
They use us.
Okay.
Integrity, stability, insulation check, fire rated doors for hotels, hospitals, malls, institutions, airports, high rises, commercial buildings, and so on. Company is perhaps the only organization in the industry with a fully backward integrated infrastructure which is required to make high quality, durable engineered doors. We have our own sawmills. Chemical treatment plants, which is capable of impregnating fire retardant chemicals at pressures higher than 160 psi and anti-termite, anti-motor chemicals into wood thicknesses as high as 75 to 100 ml. High temperature, low pressure kill seasoning facility to reduce the moisture content in wood, which is required to create highly durable doors. Elaborate woodworking machinery infrastructure.
So most of the work is done in one step. Yeah. So it's a frontline process. It does not go back. The assembly line is very integrated. It's a 3 lakh square feet facility in Rajasthan, from where we deliver to Western Indian market.
Spray painting booth, and so on. With a very dedicated and qualified management consisting of accountants, engineers, company secretaries, and a sincere team which is committed to detailed processes and delivered quality. The food is continuously serving its clients with innovation, service, and safety. Thank you.
That's the next generation of tough food. So, the products that we do are mostly 3 horizontals and 4 verticals. Okay. So we do, as I told you, acoustics, radiation. We are into passive safety. You're a passive safety player. What is passive safety? What do you have to save yourself against? In mostly the building codes of Europe, US, India also. You have to in Europe it's called Lärmschutz. Sound also is a pollutant. It's a hazard. Okay, so there are specific codes for sound management also, where the industrial sound level has to be lower. Even in the public noise, you cannot honk, and the buildings have to have once you have closed this, it has to be an acoustic insulation, the double glass units, so that if there is external noise, you do not get that noise in the house. Okay. So we do acoustic proofing. We do not have a code in India, so we work with ASTME 90 and NFPA 32. Okay, our doors acoustic systems have been tested against ASTME 90. I have given a slide on that. Then we do fire safety, which is most widely used product. We do radiation, and then of course normal thing. Now, okay. Now doors are moving walls. What is a door? So we do partitions. Okay, moving and non-moving partitions. The floor and the ceiling is a horizontal partition. The wall, along with sliding or non-sliding, hinged or non-hinged door, is a vertical partition, right? So we do partitions. We do doors. We do walls. We do barriers and all the accessories thereof. What is a barrier? What is a fire rated barrier and how do you use it? Where do you use it? For example, this building has an electrical shaft. Okay, it is a requirement as per the National Building Code that the electrical shaft at every level, at the floor level, has to have a horizontal barrier. It's not implemented at Goa thanks to, I do not know what compliance, because all compliance has to be pushed downward. तब जाके comply होता है. But in many a state where we are functioning, this is a compliance requirement. What happens? Second floor में suppose there is a fire, and the cause of fire is in the electrical shaft. It goes to the third floor via the electrical shaft. How do you stop that? You create a horizontal barrier. We'll come to that. We'll have a slide on that product. Horizontal barrier. Similarly, fire rated partitions. This wall could be a 2-hour fire rated partition. It's called a dry wall system. Okay, we have tested dry wall systems also. Many hospitals these days use dry walls only. Now dry walls are lighter. The lacuna, the lob side of the product is, in India we specially use walls and doors also, not only as partitions, but not only as visual obstructions or partitions, but also as a safety feature. Dry wall system is not, the impact resistance of dry wall system is not very high. You can take a cricket wicket and puncture it through. Okay? There are many videos circulating from, there's a Bombay experiment of Lodha World Tower, where they made a 14 crore flat, and then the child took a cricket wicket and punctured the wall through. That's a dry wall system. It costs more. It's 2-hour fire rated. So we do walls, and of course we do doors. Okay. I'm going to the next slide. The government departments that use our specifications are Maharashtra PWD. Maharashtra Fire Department has given us a license to give an NOC directly. We are on the Maharashtra Fire bodies. We are the first passive safety product. Hamara 326 number, which was in the active safety there are many license holders, but in passive safety we were the first license holder. So we can issue you in Maharashtra for a building. If you are using tough wood products, we can issue you a direct NOC for the passive safety products. Mahada, GSIDCO, BMC, and Bengal PWD. There were more, so we cannot put them in a slide. Madhya Pradesh PWD, CPWD schedule of rates has been recommended. It's not still there because CPWD ka DSR revise hone mein takes a lot of effort. And some projects that have used case on case basis. Some projects that have used our products are NBCC CGST building in Bombay, MMRDA, MES, and Army DG map. Okay, Director General Married Accommodation Program of the Army. Now we'll move directly into what is passive protection. So passive protection is something that impedes. It does not fight with anything. It just stays there as a protective instrument. Okay. It can, just by virtue, for example, there is radiation. Okay. there's a lot of radiation in this room, and the operator is sitting there. So just by virtue of this wall being lead lined, the operator is protected. So the lead line device is a passive safety device. Okay. I'll take you through a short video, 2 minutes video. And similarly, passive fire protection is based on compartmentation of fire. It stops the movement of fire, right? So I'll just quickly take you through.
Passive fire
So
protection
1 minute.
is used to safeguard people and limit damage to buildings and their contents. It does this by limiting the spread of fire and smoke, protecting escape routes, and by protecting the building structure. Passive fire protection products include fire doors, fire-resisting walls, floors and ceilings, fire-resisting ducts and dampers, fire stopping, and fire protection for structural members.
A fire may result from multiple causes, anywhere and where you least expect it. Nowadays, it is imperative to have the appropriate protection systems in any type of construction. Otherwise, the building itself could collapse within the first 25 minutes. Do you know what systems exist to protect our lives from a fire? Those systems helping detection, alarm and signaling, and fire extinguishing are known as active fire protection, and they can be seen at a glance in any public space, like extinguishers, fire hose cabinets, sprinklers, smoke detectors, alarms. And the most important one, passive fire protection, is made up of those materials used in the construction of buildings that, although can't be seen at first, provide the building with fire protection and structural fire resistance, preventing the collapse and spread of the fire towards the mains and buildings. On the other hand, in case of a fire, they facilitate the smoke evacuation to the outside, preventing the suffocation of the people by providing an evacuation route.
I think that was very clear, na? Passive safety. Now, it was important and imperative to understand that active safety, which is where we spend a lot of money, does not function very often. In a big threat of fire, जाके वो cylinder चलाने का वो सब का इसलिए automate कर रहे हैं. We are making it automated. We are applying detection to it, the smoke detectors, and we are trying to automate it with sprinklers and all, right? That is what active safety, the state of art of active safety is. Even more beneficial and at lower cost is when you integrate structural and construction elements and material which is by nature fire resistant, right? It makes a lot of sense that you can integrate it, it's cheaper than active safety. Another thing about, especially about passive fire, about fire is that people don't get burnt with flame. Let us be very clear, flame does not burn. Heat burns. You put your finger inside a flame, you do not get burnt. There are dry flames also. There are cold flames also. On a but heat exposure actually burns. Second, most of the fire deaths in fire accidents happen due to suffocation, smoke. So there's a rampant, what is happening in India at a rampant is steel, metal, iron being sold as a fire resisting device because it stops flame, it has integrity. But the most important factor, insulation, is not available. And now the national, I'll come to this later when we deep dive into 3614 with the product. The code that stipulates and that governs passive fire safety, they have now come out with a clear-cut definition of uninsulated, insulated and partially insulated. We'll get into that. The National Building Code of India 2016 have given a definition and requirement for usage of fire doors and passive fire safety. It's part 4, life and safety. 2.22 is the definition of fire rated door. So door is not only the shutter. it's not only the shutter, it's the entire assembly, right? It is the frame, the shutter, the vision panels, the hardware. Everything together makes a door. The entire door, the combination of doors and accessories together have to provide the specific fire safety that is required. For example, up to 45 meters it is 1 hour for apartment main doors and kitchen doors and the staircase exit doors and all these assemblies. For example, this is an assembly. Okay, so this has to be a 2-hour rated fire door. Additionally, you might want that, okay, this is a conference room, we have conferences, you might have a 42 decibel acoustic requirement, sound insulation. But a fire door is mandated here. What should be its properties? Clear cut mention, stability, integrity and insulation. Correct? So once again, this is what we've already talked about. Radiation shielding is done currently with lead. Soundproofing acoustics is done with EPDM rubber and sealing the joints. The frame and the shutter has a joint. That joint is sealed with EPDM neoprene type components. And the door itself has a 2 mm or 2-3 mm EPDM rubber sheet. This one, okay?
EPDM rubber sheet throughout the structure.
You can circulate it. Okay. So this was stipulated. Yeah, acoustic fire rated door as well. This is.
So this protects the.
This insulates sound.
Insulates sound. EPDM rubber sheet. So door may
integrate. We have a very modular design. So most of the design is modular. Whatever you require, you add a layer. If you want to make it radiation proof, acoustic, fire rated, you add a layer of lead. The few things have to be modified. If you put a lead, it has to be through and through. You cannot use a clipping.
This is hardwood. We actually, particular for fire doors, we are using the hardwood. Minimum density should be 800 kg and more.
800 kg per cubic meter, and that further is treated with fire retardant chemicals like ammonium polyphosphate and antimony trioxide.
जो आपको वीडियो में आपको दिखाया सर, वो केमिकल ट्रीटमेंट प्लांट
पूरा इम्प्रेग्नेट करना पड़ता है.
160 psi प्रेशर में पूरा केमिकल आर पार होता है सर.
Wood का, so I want to emphasize again, yeah. The main problem with fire is heat, insulation, not flame. The problem with wood is integrity, not insulation. Wood is a naturally insulating thing, right? And because it is nitrocellulose based, it burns at 500 degrees centigrade. The incidence point of wood is above 500. Okay. So, because it is naturally insulating, it's as a raw material, structural material, it's better. But we have to solve the problem of integrity.
ये सेम है.
ये दिखाओ.
So hollow inside.
Yes, it's hollow inside. It's hollow inside. I'll share a picture of the structure later. अभी देखो तो structure.
उसमें है.
Start.
उसमें है.
इसमें.
डेस्कटॉप पे.
ये डेस्कटॉप.
डेस्कटॉप के ऊपर बाद में दिखा दें.
तो माइक दिस पॉइंट सर्कस करो, पॉइंट को दिखा.
मैं दिखा देता हूँ सब. एक्चुअली.
सर, ये है इसका बोर्ड.
क्या है मटेरियल?
वो सेरामिक है, सेरामिक वर्मिकुलाइट मिक्स. So sir, so the problem with wood is integrity. We solve that problem with chemical treatment. This is ceramic vermiculite, sir. Vermiculite is volcanic clay, and ceramic is
About that hardwood.
yes.
The first we made the hardwood structure, that is 100 by 32 mm. Then we put one calcium silicate board for back. Then we put the ceramic wool.
What is the total thickness?
Total thickness for 2 hours is 55 mm and 1 hour is 45 mm. And acoustical door, that sample has been 75 mm for fire rated, and normal acoustical door is 65 mm. The lead line doors is 44 mm, and lead line come fire rated is 57 mm.
Okay.
Okay, continue.
Yes. So in Maharashtra and Gurgaon, now they've gone one step further. Especially downtown Mumbai, all apartment, they have even compartmentalized individual dwellings. Each dwelling has a kitchen door and a main door. If there is a fire in the kitchen, it does not go to the main part of the dwelling. If there is a fire in the dwelling is a word in National Building Code, that's why I'm using it. Residence, apartment, flat. The main door is fire rated, it does not go to the lobby. Okay. So all apartment main doors and kitchen doors are usually, in hotels all guest room doors are fire rated. In Gurgaon, the Gurgaon fire authority asks for all hotel room doors to be at least 1 hour fire rated. Pune also, many parts of Bombay. So this is abhi kya hai? National Building Code is a guideline. 3614 is a mandate, but who will execute that? The fire department has to execute it. Government bodies take their own due cognizance, like yourself. But for general public, jab tak, because it's a costlier product, it is at least 200% more costly than non-normal flush doors, right? So unless there's a mandate or a stipulation requirement of the NOC, it does not get implemented. So we operate our factory in Rajasthan, but our sales in Rajasthan is zero. Why? Because Rajasthan does not have a fire department.
तो आपको पहले वो बनाना पड़ेगा.
हम उसके लिए अभी मिनिस्टर से बात करने जा रहे हैं. फायर डिपार्टमेंट ही नहीं. Okay. Now this is a milestone. There is a milestone coming up. I am just sharing that. इसके अंदर से वो ड्राफ्ट निकाल दो. वो शेयर करो. The 3614 is under review. The draft has been circulated. 3614 is the mandatory code for fire rating. ठीक है. इसमें अभी तक IS, BIS का मार्क नहीं मिलता है. इसके आने के बाद we will be able to apply for ISI mark. But currently 3614 is about testing. You test under 3614. For the first time 3614 is giving a clear-cut classification. Okay. So now you will actually have to write, the designer will have to write whether you require an insulated door and an uninsulated door. So steel door जो अभी तक एकदम rampant, सब लोग बोलते हैं ना fire माने steel door या लोहा door सबसे बिक रहा है, but it is not even insulation. So you write, the designer has to write, the architect has to write, the engineer has to write if it's an UD. UD means uninsulated door. Then there is a partially insulated door which has a 30 minutes insulation. Okay. And then is a fully insulated door. Right? So ours is a 120 by 120 insulated door, which means it has 120 minutes integrity and 120 minutes insulation. Okay.
The FD 120.
We have an FD 120 ID. Insulated is ID, partially insulated is PI, and uninsulated is UD. So we have an FD 120 ID. That's the full nomenclature. And very soon you will start seeing this nomenclature, hopefully very soon, sooner the better, in specifications. FD 120 ID. एकदम नोट करो. सुजय को बोलो. ठीक है. और ask Surya to change all our specifications to FD 120. Write it down. Okay. Again, I am emphasizing insulation so much because I'll take you through a CBRI Roorkee testing video, 1 second video, where the door has passed the fire rating test. The door is passing the integrity test. It will get a certificate for integrity. But 10 meters away from the door, objects have caught fire. Test हुआ, test pass हो गया, उसके बाद on the other side, on the unexposed surface, objects are catching fire. This is small video. One second. see, अरे नहीं दिख रहा है, स्क्रीन क्यों नहीं दिख रहा है? एक सेकंड, स्क्रीन दिख ही नहीं रहा है इसमें। अनिर्बान, स्क्रीन नहीं दिख रहा है, देखो ना एक बार। क्या हमारा वो क्या है? F10 एक्सटेंड हो गया ना डुप्लीकेट। So I'll repeat. So this is the fire door being tested. There is no flame coming out. There is stability. There is integrity. But 10 meters away, there is a fire incident. आग लग गई. इतना heat है. Now what do you do with such a fire door? You put a steel in Carlton, Bangalore. There is a mark. Carlton, Bangalore में जो accident हुआ, there is a remark from the CFO after the audit. There is a remark from the CFO after the audit. अब वापस से ऊपर है।
ठीक है।
ये बड़ा कैसे होगा आपको? तो यही चाहिए ना, मुझे ये नहीं चाहिए। बताओ ना। Sorry, I'm really sorry for the technical glitch. Then we have our door tested. Where अभी मैं 7-minute video आप लोग after the question answer if you want we can show you that video where after 110 minutes also where when the temperature in the furnace is 1100 degrees centigrade you can actually touch the door on the unexposed surface. ठीक है, the door temperature does not go beyond 140 degrees centigrade and at human skin burns at 180 degrees centigrade. The norm is 140 plus ambient temperature. Okay. That's the norm. The unexposed surface has to be unexposed surface cannot go beyond this temperature for insulation. Okay. Metal door, sir, is not even tested for insulation. CBRI certificate दिखाना. The metal doors, our doors are tested with thermocouples on the unexposed surface. The metal door in the CBRI, you have to see the CBRI certificate of most metal doors. Firstly, they will say integrity yes, insulation yes, integrity yes, stability yes, insulation no. Which means it is not even tested for insulation. Thermocouple का photo दिखा होगा. Wherein wooden composite doors, so there is an actual technical merit of they are not tested with thermocouples. Okay.
Next slide.
We had summarized the national building code. अभी आपका ये requirement नहीं है. That where to use what. ठीक है. We can give you a summary of the national that at the main apartment in the main entrance, the unit entrance, the bedroom, okay, the dormitory room और आपके अगर hotels में है तो आप लोग अगर buildings या apartment dwellings बनानी है तो staircase exit is a 2-hour rated. Then the corridor, there is a lobby door, there is a lift lobby, then there is a apartment main door, and if you are using a kitchen door for then that if you want to, this is kitchen door and main door is not mandated yet, it is a wish list, but it is implemented in Maharashtra and in Haryana also, mostly in Gurgaon. Okay, so now quick deep dive. It is ours is a 1 hour and 2 hour rated fire rated systems. It is 3 criteria I have already told you. It is non-metallic, It is asbestos free, non-hazardous and eco-friendly. So stability, safety and integrity, installation is easier. Then if handling is easier, if you want to modify it, for example, if your ceiling and floor level is a bit different, you can modify our doors or our systems by around 10, 20 to 50 mm from the bottom. Okay, easy to handle, easy to repair. And aesthetics, yeah. The doors can be done with any design because the core is fire rated. The top surface is sacrificial. In a fire incident, the top surface will burn in the first 5 minutes, and if there is an intumescent painted, maybe 10 minutes. But the core will stay to protect. Okay, the top surface is sacrificial. Does not matter what top surface. So you can play around with your top surfaces. Okay, so you can use a veneer acoustic door. You can make a polished melamine. Melamine we do not use PU mostly because in PU you can add tetracrysyl polyphosphate. Now, as I was saying, that wood is a very robust and versatile raw material, construction material, provided it is from replenishable sources, right? We have our own chain of custody from Forest Stewardship Council, which means we use wood from certified forests, which are plantation timber. Okay, most of the wood that the wood that you have seen here is from Denmark. We are importing from Denmark. Funny enough, my father on his table has a splinter from the First World War. So currently 70% of forests in Germany are for sale. The forests that were planted after the First World War and the Second World War. तो अभी जो उसकी सॉइंग हो रही है, so we are getting sometimes उसमें से bullets और ये भी निकल जाते हैं. So these are we are audited, and all our products can be used in green buildings. So IGBC certified, green building audited, and we are certified for responsible forestry under the FSC. We have our own chain of custody. Our chain of custody number is 007307. It can be checked online. So again, coming back, this is important. Smoke checking. As I told you, the two maximum disastrous things from fire is heat and smoke. Okay. Heat से जब insulation provide होती है, smoke का क्या proof है? And again, this is something that steel doors do not provide, sir. That is smoke checking. How do you check smoke? This is the intumescent seal. 1 hour rated and 2 hours. So this will check smoke. This is like जो दिवाली में जलाते हैं ना सांप. So this will expand 450 times and close all the openings. This is used in frames as well as in the shutters. Shutters के side में दिखा दो. अच्छे ना? Stable अच्छे ना? এটা এখান থেকে পিছন থেকে স্টেবল করো তারপর হারভেস্ট খুলে দাও. Second point, the vision glass. In our products, sir, we do not install vision glass on site. We do not, after making the product, we do not cut out the vision panel, and it should not be cut out. Why? Because what about the joint? The vision glass might be a 2 hour rated, but what about the joining? What about so whenever you write in your specifications, I recommend and suggest you write vision glass to be prefabricated within the structure, so that also you will get a higher thickness and a higher density of vision glass plus fire rating. It has to be prefabricated so the structure on the surface is monolithic, right? कोई joint visible नहीं होना चाहिए. Similarly, beading internal होना चाहिए. This beading is important for screw holding and all, but it has to be internal. It cannot be बाहर से लिपिंग पट्टी लगा दिया, वो नहीं. स्टील में भी बहुत सारे लकुनास है, उसमें अपने नहीं की जाएंगे. That's not my subject. I will focus on wooden composite doors for their merits. Okay, internal beading. हाँ किसी को क्वेश्चन पूछ लीजिए सर। डोर के चारों तरफ लिविंग पट्टी लगाते हैं ना, वो एक्सटर्नल नहीं होना चाहिए, इंटरनल होना चाहिए। हाँ एंड ऑफ कोर्स एस्थेटिक एडवांटेजेस कैन नॉट बी ओवर एम्फसाइज्ड। वुड के संग में बहुत सारे पैनल्स, बहुत सारे सरफेसेस, HPL, you have 1000 options, okay, you have 50,000 varieties of laminates, veneers, polishing, you can play around with the aesthetics.
Your hardware, what material you are using?
So in the hardware sir, we are not a hardware manufacturer.
No, but which material?
SS3, mostly SS304 material sir.
3.
And it has to be fire rated. So there is a separate slide on that mandatory fire rated hardware must be used with fire rated products. I am skipping the lead line door section.
Yeah.
And acoustics also I am not covering in details. Okay. So this is a product which I was talking about, the electrical shaft में barrier, yeah, protecting. So it's a load bearing horizontal partition sir. ये electrical shaft है, ये repair भी हो सकता है, आदमी खड़ा भी हो सकता है, ठीक है।
And this pink color is a foam. जहाँ पे आपका electrical pipelines वगैरह जाता है, that gap should be filled with fire rated foams.
हम लोग just happy हैं कि ये pink in color है, तो otherwise ठीक है। So we have half glazed and fully glazed system. We have a fully glazed 2-hour insulated system also, tested system. And currently we are developing a double glass unit, like but यहाँ पे कब आएगा वैसा requirement for full sound insulation. अभी आपका single glass unit है, इसी जगह vacuum करके double glass unit. अभी वो pharma sector में ज़्यादा use होता है।
हमारा है
ये डबल ग्लास है,
ये नहीं
कैबिन।
अच्छा
अभी मेरा कैबिन था ना,
हाँ
उसका जो ग्लास है वो डबल ग्लास है।
हाँ, तो बॉसेस से कैबिनेट सब आप लोग इंसुलेट कर रहे हैं, कॉन्फ्रेंस रूम में बाहर सब करा दीजिए ना डबल ग्लास।
It is not acoustic.
So what is it for them?
Let's continue. Let's not get into it.
ठीक है। Some projects sir we have completed. Lodha के we do a lot of work in Bombay. So Lodha around 5 projects we've done. We're doing a 6th project with them. India Bulls Blue, Bombay Dyeing Island City Center.
वो जो आप क्रिकेट से जो बोला वो लोधा का ही प्रोजेक्ट।
लोधा का था पर हमारा लकीली हमारा नहीं था। लकीली सेंट गोविंद का था वो। अच्छा
लकीली मीनिंग हो सकता है, आपका भी हो सकता
हाँ,
है ऐसा।
हाँ इधर सर ये तो हो गया ना, इट्स उसका तो टेक्निकल प्रॉपर्टी है कि वो हॉलो है और फिल है, उसमें इट्स नॉट अ इंडिया में समझता नहीं है ना। आज का वीडियो बना के पूरा नेशनल वो हो गया, बदनाम हो गया कि हमको 14 करोड़ का फ्लैट खरीदा, हमारा तो वॉल टूट गया, लेकिन तो
का बोर्ड कौन सा था?
हाँ जी
बोर्ड
Silicate.
सिलिकेट कैल्शियम सिलिकेट। So SIDCO uses our specs. We are doing currently one of the most prestigious projects जो PMAY का नवी मुंबई में they are developing around 80,000 dwellings and we are specified for that. So अभी L&T का एक आपने अब शायद न्यूज़ में आया होगा, नेशनल न्यूज़ में, मिशन 96 where they completed a full tower, handed over a full tower from excavation to finishing in 96 days. It is going to the Guinness Book, and with your blessings we have contributed to that project. We are doing the entire 4,200.
How many floors it was?
12 floors. We are doing the entire 4,200 doors there. There are around कितने towers हैं? 42 towers हैं, 36 towers हैं।
All 36 towers completed or what?
No. Only this tower, only one
First tower they have
building.
taken as
Tower
a-
number 1 has been started to end finishing only 96 days.
मैं आपको वीडियो दिखाता हूँ, अगर आपको एक
So actually if parallelly अगर वर्क काम किया जाए तो 96 डेज में सब टावर्स खत्म हो सकते हैं ना।
नहीं सर,
This is a 96 days is too much difficult हम लोगों को।
इसका 2 मिनट का वीडियो है, अगर आपको देखेंगे मैं फॉरवर्ड करूँगा। Every 3 days they laid a slab.
It is a precasting.
precast slab. Day 71. मैं बहुत फास्ट दिखा रहा हूँ लॉन्ग वीडियो भी है मेरे
This is our doors, main doors.
रोड्स लगा देंगे
तो बता दो.
Only those people have to pray now that it doesn't come down in 96. Correct, huh?
there's a very detailed video on that. आप देखिएगा उसको.
But everyone should be geared up now for this list.
It was very
Sir,
difficult.
we are installing
Everything.
96 doors. There are 96 flats is there. We are installing in 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, 5 weeks. हाँ.
हाँ पर सर उसमें मतलब लिटरली स्पीकिंग
बहुत डालने
दम निकल गया. अच्छा इसको हटाओ ना. नहीं
हाँ.
हटाना चाह रहा है.
कारपेंटर बहुत डाले होंगे
हटाना है क्या? तो सर ऐसे थोड़े बहुत अवार्ड्स एंड रिकॉग्निशन मिलता है. So fire door is tested as per IS 3614. Okay, there is no ISI for that. अभी हमारे जो products हैं उसमें ISI develop नहीं हुआ है. Most of the products. So our doors, but it's not that हम लोग ऐसे ही बेच रहे हैं. All our doors and all our products are duly tested and certified by third-party agencies of national repute. Local भी नहीं, of national repute. CBRI Roorkee National Test House, both 1 hour and 2 hour testings. Acoustic doors have been tested as per ASTM 90 by Agio and Arai acoustic door. They're all NABL certified labs. Arai is in Pune, Automotive Research Institute. Lead line door has been tested under AERB norms. Season wood frames, the frames that we do, मतलब we do sir low tech and mid tech. We don't do high tech, okay? But we don't also do no tech. इंडिया में अपना एक नेचर है कि जो लो टेक होता है उसको नो टेक कर देते हैं. ये मैंडेटरी है सारा वुड को सीजनिंग और ट्रीटमेंट करना, बट कोई नहीं करता. 98% ऑफ द वुड इज बीइंग सोल्ड इन इंडिया इज नॉट केमिकली ट्रीटेड, whereas it is mandated by IS 401 it must be. तो हम लोग नो टेक नहीं करते हैं, उसको भी हमने टेस्ट कराया हुआ है. फ्लश डोर्स वी हैव अ BIS सर्टिफिकेट कंप्लायंट, ठीक 2202.
फ्लश डोर सैंपल है
फ्लश डोर नहीं लेके घूम रहे सर, मतलब एकदम लो टेक वो है ना, तो लो वैल्यू एड उसको नहीं लेके घूम रहे. आप बोलेंगे तो आपको भेजेंगे, ठीक है. उसमें ट्रिपल कोर भी यूज है, वैसे 7 कोर सिस्टम.
सर 20th को फिर दोबारा फायर डिपार्टमेंट प्रेजेंटेशन है तो मैं आई विल ब्रिंग वन सैंपल फॉर यू.
नाम लिख लेना सब. So some of our illustrative client list.
I think you need to go a little faster.
बस सर finished. So one request is अब आप लोग जो specs next build करेंगे उसमें put this nomenclature जो अभी stipulated है, whether it is whatever rating you require 60 minutes, you write FD 60 ID. Okay, because I think I have emphasized the requirement of insulation. And apartment main doors and kitchen doors to be fire rated. Electrical shafts, this is suggestion. Electrical shaft would be blocked by fire barrier, horizontal barriers, ताकि आग या फ्लेम या स्मोक एक फ्लोर से दूसरे फ्लोर पर नहीं जाए. Thank you. Open for questions. Time ठीक रहा सर? We started at